right, there's a Corey video last week. Every single fighting game type explained. All of them, top to bottom, every single one. I can't wait to learn about fighting games.
When Riot revealed the gameplay trailer for its upcoming fighting game 2XKO, a user on Reddit described the game as a Tekken-like, which caused a collective facepalming of fighting game fans.
Okay. Okay. This is excellent bait. This is really good bait.
Tekken and 2XKO are obviously different to fighting game players, but it's not surprising how these games could seem similar to the layperson.
Yeah, I was
Look at how
kind
many
of
have
shocked
a
at
character select screen, a side view angle of both players facing each other,
Yeah.
and life bars depleting towards the center until someone is KO'd.
I was kind of shocked at how different 2XKO is, and I know it makes me sound stupid and ignorant, but like, I'm somebody who's played KOF, who's played Street Fighter, who played Tekken after the other stuff. I did not know tag games were that weird.
Street Fighter II, The World Warrior in 1991. Yes, it was inspired by many iconic fighting games before it, but they also served as prototypes that laid the groundwork for what Street Fighter II would become.
I'll play that game. Dude, the sounds in Street Fighter 2 are so fucking funny. They're just so much, like, louder and stronger.
So what exactly are these design and gameplay elements that made Street Fighter II so successful that it transformed the arcade culture from one of getting personal high scores into one of beating a human opponent?
Jesus! Relax, kid!
Well, for
Holy
starters,
shit.
obviously a versus mode. Having the objective
Tear
to
that
mess
lever
up
off.
another human player is what largely distinguished the fighting game genre from the single-player and co-op beat-em-up genres. It's why people were confused when Sifu got nominated for Best Fighting Game at the Game Awards.
And you know who won? I'd be pretty mad if I was a fighting game guy. This is why we're having like a fighting game renaissance now, because Multiverses won and Sifu was nominated, and Capcom and SNK and Bandai were just like, fuck this. We gotta make real games now.
From here, we branch off into two categories, archetypal and hybrid, or if you prefer, traditional and non-traditional.
Go
or,
traditional.
I don't know,
Do
classic
traditional.
and modern.
No, not modern. Go traditional.
Because it's a 2D game, you cannot evade attacks by moving to the third dimension any more than the original Pac-Man could jump over ghosts. This is why these NPCs can be
That
so-
isn't a game later, by the way. Blew my mind.
You hold back to block, which is the same input to walk backwards, and hold down back to crouch block. If you've noticed, all the jumping and blocking are done on the 8-way joystick. This is because the creator of Street Fighter 1, Takashi Nishiyama, wanted a 6-button game in an era where 2 or 3 was the norm.
God.
Takashi Nishiyama
Oh
wanted
my god, look at that cabinet. That is hideous. The big-ass buttons that you gotta go... Sure.
The problem
okay.
or feature of
Which
hold
is
back
why
to
Mortal
block
Kombat
is
gets
that
a
the
block
input
button
back
is 'cause people
changes
be
depending on if your
teleporting,
opponent
right.
is to your right
Sure.
or your left. But which way should you hold here to block?
It's a right. You hold right.
Left or right?
It's a right.
In this case, you must hold right
Ha!
to block because the opponent ends up to your left
That
when
shit
the
is
attack
tricky.
connects. There's a small window where you can score another free hit afterwards before the game will let your opponent block. This glitch is what we now know as a combo. Starting
that is
another
weird.
move before the previous one finishes
we
its
should take that out.
animation is called canceling.
There should be a fighting game with no
staple feature
combos.
of the 2D fighting game archetype.
Like you could air
and
dodge
extremely
immediately
impossible
after
in
every
real
single
life.
one. You should be able to do that. We almost had it with Multiverses. Good point, actually. We did. Oh, you get! Oh my god,
the
man.
game did not
It's so
have hold back to
strong.
block and used the block button instead. This is what Mortal Kombat did in 1992.
Right. Which is why you can have fuck-ass moves, like them phasing around the world and hitting you from behind. What a crazy game. Hey, buddy! You need a nice watch? This video is sponsored by Holzkern. That's right, Holzkern. Holzkern is a small family business out in Austria that makes jewelry for men and women and all kinds of stuff. And their stuff is made with natural materials. They've actually sponsored this channel a few times now, and I frankly love them. You've probably seen this watch that I wear, but I'm actually very excited this time because they sent me something I've been asking for literal months. This is called the Edisto. This is actually walnut wood. Look at that right there. And the big thing that I like, that's a leaf. Wow, look at that. I'm a sucker for wood watches, like the Hapuku. It's kind of like the fig, but it has a blue leaf inside. And then my daily driver. This is the watch I wear 90% of the time, and you guys see in all my videos. This is the Bob with the green and the koa wood and the marble. I like the Bob a lot. So go to the Holzkern site and find a watch just for you. Whether you're into wood watches, stone watches, metal watches, bracelets, necklaces, whatever you guys want, Holzkern has all kinds of stuff. In fact, Holzkern's portfolio features over 1,000 designs. And the best part is they make great gifts. So if you have anybody in your life that's looking for something wood, made of natural materials, even a peacock feather, stone, pearl, gemstones, all kinds of different stuff, man. Holzkern, it makes fantastic products. And guess what? I've got a link for you so you could try it yourself. Go to holzkern.com/Coney and use promo code Coney to get 10% off at checkout. What? 10% off at checkout. They ship to most countries in the world from beautiful Vienna, and they pay customs, and I think it takes 2 to 5 business days most times. It's pretty quick. Anyway, thanks to Holzkern again for sponsoring the channel. I'm a huge fan of these guys, and I think you will be too. Holzkern.com/Coney. Get 10% off. Thanks for sponsoring the video. Back to the video. Now, go.
When blocking is done with a button instead of a direction, there is no left or right
I hate
blocking to worry about.
You need
no
it,
left,
though,
right
when
mix-up
people be
game to
shooting
had.
at you full stage
Whether
away.
Scorpion throws his spear or does his side-switching teleport punch, the answer is the same. Block button. But funny enough, this nightmare came true when Scorpion became a guest character in Injustice, NetherRealm Studios' first hold-back-to-block fighting game.
Oh, I didn't realize Injustice didn't have block button. I forgot that. Really?
How can you say that this move has been toned down? Look at this. It's ridiculous.
Wait a minute. Wait, that existed? They left it in? Wait, they just left that in? They didn't think about it. They're like, oh shit. Like, take that move out. Just say he lost his powers or something. Put in a cutscene.
Blocking high will defend against high attacks and jumping attacks, and blocking low will defend against both low attacks and high attacks, but will lose to jumping attacks. So a spacing game was played where you try to tag your walking opponent with a quick and long low attack while avoiding or blocking theirs. One of the earliest examples of footsies, the strategic combat focused on movement and
I don't know what
attack
to do
ranges.
against somebody who's
But
down
even
backing
still,
me.
crouch blocking
Even still.
was really effective, so they had to add a couple
Do an
things
overhead.
that could beat
Ryu's
blocking,
overhead is like
namely
30
throws
frames.
and chip
He goes,
damage
"Ah!"
from blocked special attacks. But as you
Bro,
can see,
they tech it.
Street Fighter had
Now
this
what?
feat.
If somebody has perfect reaction time, what do? Shibby? No, but they wait for the grab. It's scary, man. You aren't fighting players with perfect reaction time. Excuse me, I'm in Diamond, so I think I am.
Matsumoto's Art of Fighting in 1992 would introduce meter,
Damn, they're big.
super moves, taunting, and dashing where you tap forward or back
Huge,
twice for
man.
quick bursts of movement. Street Fighter would add all these mechanics to its core.
Damn, Street
gameplay
Fighters are
much
big
later.
too.
But not all innovations stuck
Whoa!
around. Nishiyama's Fatal Fury was
What
leap
the
forward,
fuck?
But not all
What is that? Take
innovations
this.
stuck around. This introduced the
I
team
don't
battle
remember his
system
name.
where
He
each
just had
player
the ball
picks
and
a team
chain.
of 3 characters and the order in which
Dude,
they
I would
appear.
definitely play
Team battle
as
system where
USA.
each player picks a team of 3 characters.
Oh, hell yeah. The sports team? Excellent.
The player who can eliminate all 3 of their opponent's characters wins the game.
What a cool
As
idea.
a new flagship fighting
I love
game,
the 3v3
SNK would
idea.
continue to add features in each iteration. KOF 94 introduced spot dodging, a way to dodge in place for a moment to
Ooh.
avoid attacks. A kind of a pseudo-dodge into the
Fancy.
3rd dimension. Combine this with rolling, an evasion mechanic that goes through fireballs and people, and you've essentially got the control scheme for what we know as King of Fighters gameplay.
But it looks way worse. Now it's kind of ugly. Ugh. Yuck. 15 looks fine. The particle effects are ass. No, it's ugly.
Actually
This
got the
looks like
control
shit.
scheme for
It
what
does
we
not
know
look good.
as King of Fighters.
And I can't even tell you why or how. It's just something about it. It does not please my eyeballs. It looks better than Street Fighter 6. No, it doesn't. It does not look better than that game. Wrong. Sorry.
The thing that binds Street Fighter, KOF, and other SNK games together is the rule that you cannot block in the air.
Right.
This keeps players closer to the ground, which is why there should be a subcategory for grounded fighting games.
Oh, God. No! Stop! Turn it off!
In terms of offense, Darkstalkers implemented a primitive form of chain combos. Where
What was
loosely,
that?
In terms of offense,
like a Wobbuffet.
Darkstalkers
Boing,
implemented
boing,
a
boing.
primitive form of
He's spinning? Is that what that is?
chain combos, where a
Okay.
loosely dialed-in series of buttons would magically do a combo, a departure from the stricter link-based combo timings of Street Fighter and
Boo!
KOF
I hate
games.
links.
It was around this
I
time
wanna
when
dial
combos
the
were being
combo in.
recognized
Put the
by
whole
both
thing
the
in,
players
please.
and the developers. And Combo Mania had hit a peak with the release of Killer Instinct, a game with a unique combo system that allowed you to do some that exceeded 10, 20, or even 30 hits during a match.
Oh my
But with
God,
great combos
DJ,
comes
stop.
great
Oh
one-sided
my
gameplay,
God,
so they also
DJ.
incorporated
Oh,
a way to
no,
stop your
look
opponent's
out!
combo in the middle of it. The combo breaker.
I've never played Killer Instinct, but it looks very funny. If I was going to, I would do the N64 one, because it looks hilarious.
But how absurd would it be if everyone could air dash and double jump?
I would not want
What
to
if
play
everyone
it.
could
No,
also
turn it
do
off.
chain combos?
Turn it off.
What if people could
Ooh, I don't
block
want to play that.
anything
I don't
in
want
the
to play
air
that.
Without caveat.
No, don't play. Turn it
wouldn't
off.
be
I don't want to
absurd.
play that.
It would just be anime.
Ew. I did like
Guilty
XR.
Gear in 1998
XX,
would have
that's what
air
it was.
dash, double jumps, and true air blocking for everyone, opening up way more interactions in the air
Damn, this game
and
is
truly
ugly.
distinguishing itself
Is
from
this
its
on the
grounded
Game Boy
counterpart.
Advance?
New type of 2D hold back to block game
Yeah.
was called anime, or sometimes air dasher. In Guilty Gear X2 onwards, they added a clever combo breaker system called Burst.
And then sometimes platform fighters are like, hey, we're going to put Burst in our game. And it's a fucking awful idea. Have you ever seen the Iron Giant? Have you seen what the Iron Giant does? The Iron Giant will say, Burst, you're dead at 30. Sorry. Oh, you're at the top? Okay. Nasby had a burst, and it was bad. Dude, the Nasby 2 burst, I think, was a terrible idea. What if you could only use it in hit stun? Even still, it still would be bad because I would just do it off stage. If my character lives until 180, you're going to hit me off stage to try to kill me, and then I'm going to just pop it over here, and I'm going to live, and then I come back in the center stage. And yeah, I have to get hit again to die, and I'm probably going to die, but I get one free get hit by a big move.
But Capcom had been building up to their own anime-like game, or more precisely, a
Oh my God!
superhero comic-like game.
That guy's dead. American anime.
Right after Dark
Yeah!
Capcom
Let's
released
go!
X-Men Children. Instead of making a longer fixed jump arc like
Finally!
in King of Fighters,
It's
super
our
jumps
turn
in X-Men
now!
went really high. Like, so high they had to draw twice as much stage background vertically.
This is my problem with Marvel. I don't be knowing where the fuck I am, bro. I don't know. Where did he go? Cyclops? My character jumps off the screen, and I'm like, I'm lost. I'm dead. What do I do?
In the air, there is no standing or crouching state, so there are no high-low mix-ups to worry about.
So you...
Holding up back to jump and air block because you're too chicken to deal with a high-low mix-up on the ground is called chicken blocking.
Wait, really? That's kind of cool. I like that.
They also improved ground mobility with dashes that you could
I like
cancel
that.
into other commands.
That's fun. I'm gonna call things chicken blocking even if they're not.
You could even dash and cancel into another dash, which is known as wave dashing, allowing players to move extremely quickly on the ground.
This shit's crazy.
But what really changed everything was Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which let you call out your teammate to briefly assist you in the fight, also simply known as calling an assist.
So when I played this at the Marvel booth when I was at EVO, I got a chance to play this for an hour. I did not realize how often you can call. You can call so much. I was like, oh, I need to be very careful about when I call the assist. No, you just fucking spam it, ma'am. It's crazy.
To give the defender a chance against this kind of oppressive offense,
Chicken block!
there was a mechanic that
Jump!
pushed your opponent away while blocking called push block.
Dude, I don't get people told me about push block. I had no idea how this is or how to do it. My brain would not be able to think of this.
But the downside of
No
having
way I'd be
multiple
push
characters
blocking, bro.
on screen at once is that you can also get them all killed at once. When two characters of the same team are caught in a deadly combo,
I
it's
hate a
ironically
team-ass
called
assist
a
game,
happy
man.
birthday.
Too much stuff going on. These games are crazy, man. Assist games are
And in
nuts.
the rare case it's 3 characters, it's called a Merry Christmas, giving new meaning to the joy of giving.
I didn't know that. Wow, I learned 2 things today. Freaks deserve fighting games too. Hey, I'm up here, man. I am when it comes to fighting games, I'm super conservative, bro. Just give me Street Fighter. All this wacky, crazy shit, we're getting away from God's light, okay? Fighting games are between a man and a man. Sometimes it's a girl and they have very good normals. A man and a big, long, stretchy man from India.
The archetypal 2D fighting game evolved to go more upwards. Makes sense
Oh my
because
God.
you certainly
You?
can't go into the background.
Damn, he loves this guy.
But what if you could?
Oh, shit! Never mind.
This basically eliminated the left-right mix-up game, and like Mortal Kombat, 3D fighting games focused on the high-low mix-up.
Uh-huh.
There it is! Arslan Ash is your Tekken 7 champion!
The high-low
It is weird to not jump in Tekken. When I first started playing Tekken for Sage Slam, I kept wanting to jump. Like, you just don't do it ever. There's not really a reason to do it.
Blocking rules are similar to 2D games, except that highs are now always duckable, and jumping attacks are now called mids. Because crouch blocking became so risky, it became overall safer to stand block, which is the opposite of 2D hold back to block games. But the high-low
Yeah, that
mix-ups
is weird
get
to me.
even
That took a
harder
while
to
for me to
block
get.
because Virtua
I would always
Fighter
crouch
allowed
block
you to
in
press
Tekken and get
certain
blown the
sequences of
fuck up.
buttons, which would activate a flurry of attacks that can be a mix of high, low, and yes, mid attacks. These are called attack strings, and recognizing these patterns can help you defend against them.
That's why
With so
Tekken
many
is so
strings and
hard to.
variations,
Yeah.
you're bound to get hit by something. They allow you to hit downed opponents because the counterplay is simple and elegant. Side roll into the background or foreground.
One of my biggest problems with playing Tekken, I would constantly get hit on the ground, and I'd be like, get up attack. Just wait till he runs in. I'm going to do an invincible get up attack that will hit both sides, and they'll never be able to hit me. And then they fucking step on me. They just run through me, and I take more damage. I'm like, ow, man! Stop!
Side dodging as a universal mechanic was introduced in Battle Arena Toshinden in 1995 with this rolling move. In 96,
Oh, shit!
sidestepping appeared in Virtua
Oh,
Fighter
this made me
3
dizzy.
using
Oh,
a
I
new
get
dodge
dizzy.
button.
Don't do that.
In 97, Tekken 3 got tap up or down to sidestep,
Oh,
and
oh,
as had
God.
its sense, guest character Akuma uses his 2D Street Fighter jump to go over Jin's otherwise safe mid attack and do a 95% damage combo.
Huh. Really? He got the big-ass jump? Him and Geese had 2D jumps. Oh, that's cool. That's funny. I wouldn't have even made that connection if I watched this. I wouldn't have even known it was different. No, it's not, dickhead. I think it's cool. I've never put money on the line or my time or ego into the rank system. So it's cool to me. No, it's not cool. You think it is. I promise it's not. I think this is awesome.
This covers all the fighting game types based on the archetype, but there's still another half of the fighting game tree where things get really interesting.
Okay. Finally. Talk about
One
the
day,
good
game
game.
designer Masahiro Sakurai was
Talk
at an
about the good
arcade
ones.
destroying someone
Yes,
in King
finally!
Fighters, but when he found out the players on the other side were a couple who had no idea what they were doing, he felt terrible.
I love that this is the lore. He just beat the shit out of a guy with his girlfriend and he felt really bad about it. Loser ass attitude? No, I've been him, man.
Smash also replaced the high-low blocking game with its intuitive shielding system. Holding the shield button will activate a protect.
Bro, saying some of the most embarrassed I've ever been saying shield when I'm playing a fighting game. It's so stupid, but playing Tekken, I shielded. Oh no.
This is much more intuitive than explaining to someone why this is a high attack. You also don't have to explain motion
Wait,
input than
what?
explaining to someone why this is a high attack.
What?
You also don't have to explain motion inputs because Smash did away with them in favor of a special attack button that
This
does
is my
different
favorite thing about
things
Smash
depending
Brothers.
on
It's just
what
intuitive,
direction
you
you're
know?
holding.
It's just intuitive. It is, man. I don't know why you're bat chesting. It's an intuitive, good game. That's why it's so. That's like the secret sauce of it. It's easy to pick up and play. I know we hate Smash, but I love Smash. I think chat is desperately trying to distance themselves from the people who find me from Smash, right? So they're just shitting on it because they came from Smash. That's probably how they found me. And now they're shitting on Smash because we more than Smash. We play more than Smash. Listen, Smash is a great game. Okay? It's a good game. You guys are being contrarians.
Smash has mechanics inspired by those games, like short hop attacks, roll, which makes you briefly invincible, and spot dodge, which are all mechanics found in King of Fighters.
The most
They
similar
done
game
stole
at
that
the
shit.
moment is probably KOF. I think a lot of traditional fighting game players think that Smash is, like has very different mechanics and stuff like that. The step from
This
like
guy is a huge Leffen fanboy. Is he really? I mean, I guess if you're really into a lot of fighting games, it'd be easy to be, right? Because he jumps around to a bunch and he's good at them, you know? Like, God, I admit, does he have this? He trapped Chillin's soul in this picture frame. Let him out, man!
There are many platform fighting games made by indie developers
Yo!
and large studios alike, and major tournaments like Genesis that specialize in these games. Without a doubt, the platform fighter deserves its own subcategory under hybrid.
Yeah, it does. The reason I'm thinking is because it's weird that only Smash caught on in that way. It is fascinating to me that nobody else has figured out the platform fighter formula. It's just because it was first in Nintendo, but you can't be first in Nintendo anymore. Somebody can do it. Somebody can be the Fortnite to Smash's PUBG. I'm just fucking waiting. Somebody please come out and put a $5 million circuit on Disney Smash Bros. Can anybody do it? Someone save us.
All sorts of unlikely genres have crossover into fighting game
Yeah,
territory.
what is the Little Fighter game?
What's the Groove is a 1v1 rhythm game where you can attack your opponent and they can attempt to dodge. Puzzle games
Busta
have versus
Groove.
modes where you can give your opponent
Fuck
garbage.
Puyo Puyo.
Tennis games can have supers, and so can Pong. You can PvP in MOBA or action
that's a good
RPGs.
game. Boom!
And of course, there's Maiden and Spell, a 1v1 bullet hell game.
I want to play that. I've never heard of that. I love bullet hells.
But they have other elements of the archetype that give those games their fighting game.
Yeah! Wait, this was a combo breaker? They stole my idea?
Because each of these hybrid games are so unique without the
League
constellation
rules.
of varieties
Cool
that
game.
platform fighters have, they belong in the hybrid other category. But I argue
What a weird category.
there's also a genre crossover game where you are undeniably in a martial arts fight. More so than in
Oh,
any
shit!
of the games I mentioned.
Yeah!
These games focus so much on realism, they don't play much like the archetypal fighting games at all, and have things like one-hit kills in the case of Bushido Blade, will fight
Just right.
Bushido games at all,
Hi-ya!
and have things like
Hi-ya!
one-hit kills
That's
in the
my
case of
fighting
Bushido
style,
Blade.
bro.
Consider the difference between Gran Turismo, a game that has turned players into actual professional race car drivers, and Mario
and
Kart,
Burnout.
a racing game
Oh.
where you can turn into a bullet.
What about Burnout, bro? Bring
The
back
difference
Burnout!
is that fighting sims
Come
are not
on.
nearly as common, so off to the other category they go. But there is one
wanna
more
play a
fighting
UFC
game
game.
hybrid type that deserves
I don't
its
know if they'd
own
be fun.
subcategory. The Arena Fighter. In 1993, Sega released a game called Dark Edge, which was an early attempt at
Never
an
heard of
8-way
this.
movement
Oh,
3D
gee!
fighting
Oh,
game with
dude. Oh, man, turn it off!
2D sprites.
What the
but
fuck?
the camera did not rotate with the
Oh
players.
my
This
god!
caused all sorts of problems.
This is
one
gonna
of
give
which
me a
was players'
headache,
bodies
man.
obscuring the opponent.
I don't like that game.
Later, SNK took this control scheme, added left-right auto-facing, and made the fighting game Aggressors of Dark Combat, which even flexes its free ground movement before the fight
What a terrible name.
starts.
Jesus.
It's starting to feel like there's nothing SNK has
Hey,
thought of.
stop! Stop! What
starting
happened
to feel
there?
like
All right, she said she loved you,
There's
and then
nothing
she kissed a very handsome guy,
SNK
and you
hasn't
got
thought of.
so sad you died. What a hussy! You win. Oh my god! That game's gonna radicalize me.
But arena fighters like Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm have a camera that moves much more freely and rotates around the arena.
Yeah, how do
Players
both
have
players
free
play?
ground movement, and attacking makes you automatically face your opponent. But while a free roaming camera lets you see your favorite characters in all sorts of cool angles, it also means
screens?
the
Do you
whims
need
of the
both?
cameraman will determine who will have the more favorable perspective.
Does it? Do those games? Do you have to like, even if you're playing at a LAN, do you have to have two setups? Like,
Budokai Tenkaichi solves this issue by giving both players their own third-person over-the-shoulder perspective. But of course, this requires both players to have their own screens or play split screen.
right?
But we've now come a
I
long
played
way from the
Tenkaichi
original
3 for the
archetype
Wii
and
or
are getting
whatever.
into the
Was it 2?
perspectives of
I
other
don't-
well-established genres like third-person shooters.
What?
Both third-person shooters and third-person fighting games have missiles or missile-like attacks,
Oh.
but only the third-person shooter focuses on firearms.
Right.
Firearms make distance and speed irrelevant,
Are we going
so much
into,
so
like,
that
Valorant?
pistols in shooting games
Okay,
often
there it
function
is.
more like
Okay,
barcode
yeah.
scanners than actual guns firing bullets.
Uh-huh. I wish I could play these games. They look so cool to be good at, don't they? Me with fighting games? Really? I guess you always want what you don't have.
Third-person fighting games like Gundam Versus and For Honor have lock-on systems, and in the case of
Bro said...
ARMS, the players are always facing each other.
I was gonna say bro said For Honor, and then we got the arm shutter. Oh, arms number 1. I got the hat right there too.
A fighting game where you pit two players in an arena with guns that automatically aim at each
No,
other
you would
not
duck.
be much of a game at all.
I would duck. That's the play.
Arena fighters are fighting games, if not just for the fact that they are more that than anything else. And ultimately, they literally brought fresh new perspectives to an old genre, either by using one camera angle or by giving each player their own angle. An interesting thing to note about this tree is that Dragon Ball has a game from every category except one.
Oh shit!
But just to be complete, what about the first-person fighting game? There are novelty modes in fighting games that have tried this, but you'll soon realize, one, you can't see your own character, which is sad, and
That would
moves like
make me
rolling or
I would
spinning
hate to
kicks
fight
will
Dizzy,
probably just
man.
make
I
you
would
think
I would
which
hate
is
to fight
sad.
Eddie. I would get super
And
dizzy.
moves
Look at this,
like-
bro. Fucking just my brain just.
The closest thing is maybe Chivalry, which allows you to play in both third
Ah,
and first-person modes, but here's the thing.
I could be a
There
bard
is
in
no
that.
lock-on system. So is this a first-person fighting game with swords, or a first-person shooter without guns?
It's a shooter. It's not a. Oh wait, but it is. I would call it a shooter.
But it particularly matters in fighting games because the sheer number of games and game types
Like
create a
Bebop,
diverse
Laser Zero
culture not so different from rock music. Like a music festival, the biggest tournaments host
Huh.
a variety of fighting games with multiple stages, and people choose what they want to watch and play. Many people like to play multiple games,
Interesting.
but some might only deeply care about one.
Well, I like that we're showing the melee one here. That's kind of an interesting. It's an interesting comparison. I never really thought about it like that.
Some people only like the old games of a series, and some feel the latest is greatest. There are communities within communities that have strong feelings about game mechanics, franchises.
I know that TV laggy as hell.
Community
That's why they got the
These
setup
within
there. You ever play on a hotel TV? Oh, dude, when you can't change the source? Ugh.
In 2002, Nickelback got rocks thrown at them for playing at a metal festival by a few audience members that did not take kindly to their type of music.
Nickelback played at a metal festival?
I have no
Oh,
idea
man.
what we were doing there, and it was just a horrible, horrible mistake.
Oh, this poor guy. Poor Chad Kroger. I mean, he was just taking the job, man. He didn't know any better.
In their defense, if I went to a metal festival, I wouldn't want to see Nickelback either.
This isn't to say Guilty Gear
He's
fans
right,
are
man.
going to start throwing rocks at Smash players.
This is like showing the Icons trailer at EVO at the finals. Imagine EVO grand finals are about to come up for a top 8 that you love, and this Smash game, you don't even like regular Smash, and then fake Smash comes up. Oh god. Oh no, it's a new game?
2XKO is not a Tekken-like. What is 2XKO actually like?
Ass! It's ass!
But if you choose the freestyle fuse, you can switch back again to the other character, allowing for some serious bullying.
Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Yeah, I never knew what the different tags or whatever did.
This allows for some
too much
impressive
stuff.
high-low and left-right mix-up potential.
Just make the easy
and
modern
Sean made
one.
sure to
I
show
just
me
took that.
by challenging me to games of bet you can't block this.
Oh, you were low that time.
Do you not just block the way that the guy who shines, who's like, hey, it's my turn? I guess not, because he also hit the other way.
Oh, you were low that time.
Dude, what a mess!
What?
Let him go!
Special thanks to Ben, Hetty,
Damn,
and everyone
cool
at Bay
coin.
Area Riot for all your support.
Wait, Project
This
L?
was
Oh,
Gerald from
shit!
Corey
Oh, never
Gaming.
mind.
Thanks for watching.
I was gonna say, that's probably an expensive-ass coin now, right? Good movie. That's every type of fighting games. What's your favorite? I like Street Fighter. I was born in 1988. I like this one. What's your favorite?